Hey, this is Gene. I'm just watching the mark go off about this, and this Michael Oliver has to be fired at this point. The game went off. There was nothing. It was basically two people coming together in the box. The game's going about 90 seconds later. He talks to the on-field referee and calls him over to the screen, and they look at it for 2 fucking minutes, and they decide it's a foul. This has got to stop. And this is the worst I've seen. And yes, I'm a Manchester United fan, but this is the worst I've ever seen. There was nothing there. What is the defender supposed to do there? He's there. He gets his foot there, and then the guy runs over his foot, and then it's a penalty. Now, regardless, we should have won that game, and West Ham played well for about 30 minutes in the second half. We play a lot of money for these players to score goals, and they didn't do it. I don't want to blame Delo, but he had open goal, missed it. But our strikers had 3 or 4 really good opportunities that they should have scored, and the game should have been over at halftime. Didn't happen. But this is bigger than the result of this game. We're not going to get relegated. It's just one of those games that one of the teams have to deal with the VAR and what it does to you and how it destroys you. But this guy, Micheal Oliver, has been doing it to us and for everybody else. And I don't know what it's about. I don't understand why he calls the official on the field and said, hey, you got to look at this because you missed it. There was nothing there to actually talk about. I'm not saying we're going to go and win that game, but we scored. When we got bigger guys, there's a good chance that we might actually do something there. Maybe we don't deserve it because we didn't finish our opportunities. That's fair. And that's on the players. Nobody can really go against Ten Hag for this. He brought in the substitutions, and right away, Xerxes hits the ball to Casemiro, and we score. So he did everything right as a coach. That game should have been over in the first 15 minutes, but it didn't because we don't score goals. I guess at the end of the day, you can blame the manager for this. That's fine. But Michael, I'm sitting there watching the game, and when this all happens, and they're looking at it, and I'm just fuming, and I said, "If this better not be Michael Oliver. This better not fucking be Oliver." And then it is. This I don't know what it is. He has to inject himself in games. He needs to be fired. He should no longer be in the Premiership. And again, if I was watching Chelsea versus Liverpool, let's say, I would say the same damn thing now. He needs to go. I don't know what his issue is with this. It's like he has to be part of the problem, and he knows once he talks to the referee and convinces him that it's a penalty, because clearly we're going to hear the audio. You're going to see that probably will continually convince him. He's injecting in himself, and he knows that he's going to be the subject of the press, and it's going to be all over Twitter, and it is right now. I don't know if he likes that shit, but this is just stupid. We played good for 20 minutes, but again, this might be the worst West Ham I've ever seen that first half, and we should have destroyed it. But we can never. When the jugular is right there, we haven't done anything with it anymore. We haven't really played well since when we had 4 or 5 goals a game. I'm not saying he should come back, and I don't know what if our managers, coaches can't get us to actually finish our chances. No coach will ever be able to play here. What they got a scuff shot as a pass that went for their first goal. Now it's our problem. It was Garnacho had a bad pass. It's almost like Nunez did this against the FA Cup. He puts it right in the middle of the field, and they intercept it, and from that they score. But it was a scuffed shot that went right to the guy. Perfect. There's nothing that Delo can do there. Then they get this penalty, and Onana goes the same way. He's almost there, but it's perfectly penalty. I'm sitting there. There's no way they're going to call this back, and they're playing for another 18 or 90 minutes, 90 seconds. Sorry. And all of a sudden, hey, let's go talk to him. Let's go to the fucking monitor. Let's go look at it. It's not a fucking... And he looks at it 100 times. And he knows that what his original thought was probably true. Yeah, I'm fuming because I'm fuming because we didn't finish our chances. At the end of the game, it's almost comical at this point. Everybody knows. Every other team has gone through this. Liverpool actually they wanted to go to the FA to replay a game. I mean, what are we gonna get tomorrow when VAR comes out, or the referees come out and say that was wrong, they shouldn't have done that? It has to be clear and obvious. That was just a people of coming together. It happens in the box all the fucking time. If we got that every time that happens when we were attacking, we'd have 100 penalties a year. Just because, was it Ings, I guess? He was continually complaining about it. And I guess the VAR says we have to look at it. We have to look at it. But again, if it wasn't been Oliver, I would have said, you know what? It's just a really bad VAR decision. I'm upset about it. But the fact that it's actually Micheal Oliver, and all the time he's done this to us, and I just, and I mean, Mark is just going to go crazy about it. He's going on his show and he's going to have his thing about it. And he's got the biggest YouTube channel for a fan. I mean, it's not going to do anything because they'll all surround him. But he should be fired. He should never be in the VA booth ever. He's a decent referee on the field most of the time, but he's got to go. Why is he injecting himself in that game? The game was 1-1. Either team could have won at the end. I think that we were on our way to do something, but they actually had a chance. They were down there in our box. Oh man, it's comical. It really is. But what it does for us, it just puts more pressure on Ten Hag. And obviously, I can't say the word. They're not going to fire him for this. It's not going to happen because most fans that are somewhat balanced are going to say, "Well, we played kind of okay." As bad as West Ham was, and I knew in that second half that they're going to come back and they're going to play a lot better, and they did. Normal West Ham at home, they played that way. They still had no shots until they scoffed a shot and it went to one of their players. Now the player that came on and he's got his first goal, he was the best player in the match by far. He just went after our players. It's kind of like their version of Garnacho. He kept going at our players and it was causing problems. And I'm not saying they don't deserve something from the game. Obviously, they got all 3 points, and that's great for them. In fact, I think they're ahead of us now in the league. I mean, there is nobody in history of Manchester United since I've been watching them since 1978 that would be able to that would survive this start. So, unless they have somebody in the background that they're going to bring in, because Rude's been there and he's the guy who's supposed to be able to make you finish these chances. And if he's not, are you just going to give it to him? All of a sudden, are these players not actually going to score? I mean, it's crazy. It was one decent save that I can't say his name, Fomansky made. Other than that, we just missed the goal. And I'll just say this, and it might be against what a lot of people think. I don't think that Ahmad really did anything when he came on. I've been people saying that he should be starting and all that. To me, on that side, you got Anthony and Sancho and Ahmad are very similar players. And of all those players, now we don't have Sancho anymore. Sancho was clearly more talented than both those players are. Everybody left me now because I start talking about Ahmad. That's funny. He didn't do nothing in that game. Didn't do anything. He was on there for 45 minutes or 40 minutes. Didn't do nothing. But anyway, it's like I said, it's comical at this point. So I'm just going to let it go. Obviously, people are going to say something about this, but something's wrong with this. That dude is always in our shit. And whenever he has a chance to do something to us, they do. He does. He needs to be fired. He needs to no longer be doing this shit no more. And we need to do something about it, a petition or something to the FA, because this is just wrong. You guys have a good day. It's just sports, guys. My college football team is getting their ass kicked. Oh, somebody's calling me. Let me see what's going on with this, and we'll talk to you guys later. Maybe.